Welcome to the Selwyn Village Chapel, where it's wonderful for me to be talking today with David Cunliffe, who has recently been appointed as chair of the Selwyn Foundation Board. So welcome to the world of the Selwyn Foundation, David. Tell me what excited you about the opportunity to take up the role on the board as its chair.
Well, it's a huge privilege to be asked to do this. Thank you very much for the confidence, and I am genuinely excited about this wonderful organisation. It serves so many. It has really high standards of work, and it does care about its residents and those outside the villages that it's also trying to reach. So it's a huge privilege to be part of that journey and to try and help in some way.
And we're very proud of the whole concept of the Selwyn Way and all that speaks of about our approach in caring for the elder community. Yeah.
And it's an example of people putting faith into action. The Selwyn Way comes from our faith. It's different from what you would see in a commercial market. And it's, I hope, something that I'm looking forward to seeing permeating the experience that your average resident has, and increasingly the lives that we're able to touch outside the villages. Yeah.
You've had an interesting and varied background. What are some of the particular kind of skills you think you bring to the job?
If you go by the rule that you learn from your mistakes, I've learned a lot. But no, I mean, I've been lucky enough to serve overseas. I've spent a dozen years working in the private sector, and I'm back there again now. And of course, I've had the best part of 20 years in politics, and that gives one the experience of playing a kind of governance role in a different context.
Yeah.
And for me, they've been different ways to try to contribute at different times in my life. So just really excited about this chapter.
Yeah, great. David's literally just in his onboarding process, getting to know what's going on, what's
Always
on the work
up.
program.
Yep.
And meeting people around the place.
Yeah.
But what do you see lying ahead this first year or two, looking down the program? What's the focus for the foundation from here?
Very much, as you say, Bishop Ross, which is looking and learning, and I've seen enough to know that we have a very well qualified board. We have a very able management team, and so I'm just going to approach that with a whole truckload of humility and learn what goes on and how and why. And I'm really cognizant that the strategy is to multiply the benefit that the village network can bring by reaching out to those in need outside the villages. So we've got Haumaro Housing Partnership with Auckland Council. That's a big deal and it's going places. And increasingly we're able to leverage, if you like, the Selwyn Way by reaching into parishes and helping people as they age in their own homes and bringing a very special kind of care and support to them. My own mother went through her latter years just in the last 5 years, and it was a real privilege and a joy to be able to share part of that journey with her, and it ran the gamut from aging in place in her little flat to the time coming after a few falls where she needed to move into a rest home. And so I do kind of have a bit of a feeling for what that journey is like. Aging is not for sissies, and it is for the rest of us to try to provide the support that we can to make it as dignified and exciting a journey as it can be.
David, thank you. We're so glad to have you on board. We're very proud as Anglicans of the Selwyn Foundation and its work. So enjoy being part of it, and we look forward to all that will come yet.
Thank you so much, Bishop Ross, and thank you again for the opportunity to serve. I really appreciate it.